The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to OnlyLands. Got quite the crew tonight, don't we?
Ash, I like the new hat.
It's been a part of the set for a while, but
Well, now it's on your head.
I thought I'd throw it on.
I just don't know if the 47 is big enough. I feel like it should be bigger.
Yeah, I could.
That's a sweet hat. I dig it. How you guys doing? Ash, I feel like I haven't done a show with you in a while.
I know we haven't talked in a while.
It's
been a minute. How was Florida?
That was great. It's down the Keys, saw some sharks. Nurse sharks. Didn't see any great whites though. I looked everywhere for great whites. There wasn't a single one. The Badlanders meetup was fantastic. We had so many people there.
Yes,
it's crazy. I found out after the fact that we had actually turned away people trying to RSVP because we had reached our capacity.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. People in my chat were like, "I couldn't get in."
Yeah,
it felt terrible.
I did too. But hey, that's why we have GART coming up.
It's also
and that's why you RSVP. Let's be honest, people.
Yeah,
and you RSVP early,
promptly.
Early, but we'll do more of those. There was a great time. We're going to do one in Minnesota here in early September, I believe. Be the next one, at least I'm going to. But yeah,
I don't know that I've ever been to Minnesota.
We don't want you there, so.
Well, I don't know if there's anything I want to see there. So fuck off.
I'm just kidding. Minnesota's actually really awesome.
The people of Minnesota would welcome Zach with open arms.
Yes, they would. They would.
Don't you know?
Well, I mean, Tim Walz might have me suicided as soon as I step over the line.
It's a beautiful.
You know what? We're all making sacrifices, Zach.
Dude, you should come up for the Minnesota.
Very bright 47, isn't it?
It is.
Leave it on.
I mean, it's appropriate though. It says the golden age.
It is. I'm here for it. I'm all about the golden age.
It is the golden age. We should talk about the big beautiful bill a little bit tonight, because I wouldn't call it golden, but I don't know.
What would you call it?
Maybe bronze or silver.
Well, tin.
I mean,
aluminum or whatever it's supposed to be.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
It's now going to go through another revision in the House, and so the version that the Senate pushed over isn't going to be the final version. So, I mean, it still has time to become golden.
But if they make changes in the House, then it has to go back to the Senate, and they have to vote. They're just going to keep playing hot potato with the bill and making gay little changes to it until it gets down to a 100-page bill, which I'm okay with that.
Do they though? Because I mean, Ash, Andy Ogle's already attached an amendment to strip everything that the Senate did. All right, and
I love that you can't get through this with a straight face. So.
It sounds like they have no intention of sending it back to the Senate. Like, I understand Lisa Murkowski is like, yeah, I want it back. I want to work on it for the next 6 or 7 months.
She's the product of ranked choice voting.
She is. She absolutely is. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, the deadline is less than 72 hours away.
But it's not like it's a Trump deadline. It's not like
artificial. It's artificial, but there's a psychological component to it, though, John. I mean, Trump wants on January 4th to say, "Look what I've achieved. Look what I forced them to achieve." And here's the thing: so either they let President Trump down, at which point he's going to say, "Oh my God, you guys are ineffectual. You can't get anything done." Or on July 4th, President Trump will have this package of mostly wonderful things.
Is it a big, beautiful package?
Not mostly wonderful things.
Well,
it's like 50-50.
Okay, I know. But I'm saying the things that he's going to talk about are the wonderful things, right? I mean, the things that are sort of lukewarm, maybe not such a big deal. He's definitely not going to talk about those. I mean, he's going to remind people about the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime.
Still exists, though. And that's why, I think we need to talk about those things too, because just because people don't want to talk about them doesn't mean they're not in there. But yeah, if the House makes any changes, it has to go back to the Senate. They both have to vote on the same bill before it goes to the president.
Yeah.
So I don't see how.
Didn't the Senate pass it though?
They did, but now it's changing again in the House.
So now it's back to the House, and they're going to tinker.
Yeah, they have to make.
Yeah,
They either
rounding
can
on
vote on what the Senate passed or make their amendments. And if they make any amendments, then the Senate has to vote on those amendments. Like it's a shit show. Which is
So I feel like I need to make a clarification for the record. So when I said that Lisa Murkowski is the product of ranked choice voting, many people might not know ranked choice voting is more fake than regular fake voting. It's like the fakest of the votings until blockchain voting comes, and then that'll be the most fake because the government will run the blockchain and it's all.
She's not even here. You can't do that.
He doesn't. He'd be on my side about this because blockchain voting will be a shitcoin. It won't be on Bitcoin. There's no way the government will do that. He advocates for Bitcoin based voting if he's advocating for voting at all. But shitcoin voting, he would definitely be G would be on my side about this.
Oh, speaking of talking about fake voting, yeah, Chris Paul in the house.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Awesome,
Hey,
Chris. I'm so glad you're here. I actually wasn't planning on doing OnlyLands tonight because I've done it every night, and I saw that nobody had responded to John. Well,
it's a job,
mostly,
isn't it?
It is. However, I did tell Lisa I wasn't going to do OnlyLands tonight, but I wanted to make sure that there was coverage. So now that you guys have a proper panel, I'm going to say, awesome. I'm so happy you're here. And so I'm going to bow out.
And you're going to leave?
Yeah, I'm going to leave. Then I'm going to leave because I did promise Lisa I wasn't going to do it tonight. So, anyways.
That is a crime. People should be arrested.
Yeah, guys. So, if you'll excuse me, I'll be looking forward to watching this on my television.
You're not excused, but see you later.
All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye, Zach.
Bye, Zach.
Leave.
Oh my God. Well,
wow.
That was random. Chris, I'm surprised you showed up because you were like in the same boat as Zach. You're like, I've streamed for 12 hours today.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to hop on.
Yeah.
And you did. And then he left. So
yeah,
scared him right off.
Burning Bright might show up too.
Oh God, not him. Then I might leave.
I did 4 hours with Burning Bright on Sunday. We had a blast.
That is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I did like watch it.
I did like 340 on my show solo today.
Did you talk about the big beautiful bill? Because
I did.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's a great sifting mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's BBB, like Build Back Better, intentionally. I think it's this blowout spending package that is going to force everyone to kind of show their cards about who their influences are, who's paying them, lobbyists, donors, corporate interests, whatever it is. I think all that's going to work out. And I would love this. I don't know if this is going to happen. I hope that it does happen. It's like my dream of this moment. But every time I have one of those, it is soon dashed.
It's
so
right,
whatever. Yeah. But I would love it if they passed this thing and then Trump went through and started just crossing things off with a line item veto that they're saying he can't use, or with rescission or impoundment or something, so that they have just said, here is our budget. You can spend up to this amount of money. And then he says, thank you very much. And just start saying, well, we're not going to spend that. I know that you made a deal, Lisa Murkowski, and that's why you voted for this bill. You did something in Alaska. Well, that's not going to happen. And he just goes down the list and crosses it all out. I think that would be fantastic.
That would be ideal because
and
right now,
they fought it, they would lose.
Right now, the bill is not that beautiful. And Chuck Schumer even took the name out of the bill. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, he took that out. They can no longer call it the big beautiful bill. Like it won't be in the text.
Because Chuck Schumer says so.
Well, it was like some.
By what authority?
They've started
also, Chris, your idea has this incredible byproduct of there might be a legal challenge between the branches, and that brings the Supreme Court justices back in from their break to have to come off of vacation and do some stuff. And I love everything about that.
That would be great. Yes. That particular situation has to be resolved. I don't want to go deep into it. I talked about it on my show today, but if you think about the presidential veto, that is already an all-encompassing line item veto, right? If he wants one thing out of there, he should be able to say, well, I'm going to veto this unless you get that thing out of there. And until they can find some sort of veto-proof majority, which clearly they cannot find because people already went 50-50 on it. So,
what is the veto-proof majority that they need?
I think it's 3/4, isn't it?
67. Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. In the House, I mean,
That's such an interesting idea. I didn't think of that. And that'd be brilliant. But would it put Trump in a situation as him being the reason that the bill doesn't get passed?
No, it puts Trump in the position of being the deal maker, which there's nobody better in that position.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys were right, by the way. It's 2/3. But yeah, that's what I want to see, and it has to come out. Like the executive cannot be forced to spend money within the executive branch, and that's what they're attempting to do, because all the agencies that send all that money around the world to all their special interests, that's all under the executive branch. Trump has plenary authority over that. You know, Burning Bright and I just talked about the movie Vice on Story Hour, and one of the things they present Dick Cheney as trying to use the unitary executive theory so that he can do whatever he wants and push through whatever he wants. The unitary executive theory is 100% constitutional and the only way the system could work.
Yeah. Well, okay, so couldn't they put the stuff in the bill anyway? Trump just take it as it is, and then him just decide not to actually spend it on the executive branch stuff without having to veto it?
Well, no, it wouldn't have to be a veto for it. For instance, it could be impoundment, which Russ Vogt has been all over, and just rescissions and choosing to shut down certain agencies, not have them perform certain functions. All of that is under the purview of the executive. Yeah. And we're told that it's not because they've put in all these statutes and rules and norms and the rest of it to make sure something like that can't happen, but it has to happen.
That's so interesting. I want to show this clip. By the way, see Mitch McConnell here. When I went to, oh no, I wasn't in this chamber. I was in the House floor. Never mind.
Oh,
I was about in that spot though, in the House side when I was there.
It's a high crime and misdemeanor that Mitch McConnell still has any power whatsoever.
Well, or any of these people.
But especially him. He's been at this a long time.
Did you see how we're getting spoon-fed a Mitch McConnell replacement who is friends with J.D. Vance? We've already had Blake Masters under Peter Thiel running in the same cycle as Vance. Then we had Vivek last time around, and now we're being introduced to this guy, Nate Morris.
Oh, yeah.
In Kentucky.
So stupid. I want to play this. This is the thing where he took out the big, beautiful bill name.
I raise a point of order against page 1, lines 3 to 5 of the pending amendment, which violates section 313B1A of the Congressional Budget Act of 1974.
The point of order is sustained. The text will be stricken.
They struck
What
it.
is the rule? What? We don't even get to hear the rule? Or we're not making arguments for continuing to call it the big, beautiful nothing? We're just going to fold? We're just going to sustain the point?
I feel like they clipped out some parts, but I could look up the rule if you want me to.
I feel like we need to.
Do we need to? Or do we want to?
I don't want to live in a world where Chuck Schumer still has the power to do things.
Okay, well,
he has no power. We have the Republicans have the Senate and the House. Why is Chuck Schumer able to change the name of the bill?
Because the TV show requires it.
Because it's really not that beautiful.
I don't like the plot line. We need new writers.
Okay,
that's what we're trying to do, Ash.
we gotta write down what the name of this bill is, or this rule is, so that we can look it up. Okay, are you ready, Ash?
Yeah.
Pending amendment, which violates section 313B1A of the Congressional Budget Act of 1974.
Okay.
Is he like laughing at it?
He is. He's smirking because he took it out. Section 313B1A of the Congressional Budget Act 1974.
Did he search for that with AI? There's
I
no
am.
way he thought.
I'm going GPT on it.
Nice.
It's the Byrd rule, outlines what constitutes extraneous matter in reconciliation legislation. Specifically, it states that a provision in a reconciliation bill or resolution is considered extraneous if it does not produce a change in outlays or revenue. So because the name of the bill didn't actually change the revenue, they took the name of the bill out.
Oh, see, I could have argued against that because calling it the big, beautiful bill makes people believe in it more, and that will increase the revenue associated with its endeavors.
Well, see, I feel like you're a female and you could just argue against anything for any reason. So
Well, that is true and better than any other female. Thank you very much.
Wow.
But
Shots fired.
yeah, no,
touche.
no, why did they just fold?
I don't know. That's the only info I got on the matter was that clip from Chuck Schumer's Twitter. So
Chuck Schumer is the source. It's his edit.
Watch the House come back and try to put it back in, and then the whole reason the bill doesn't pass is because they can't agree on naming it the Big Beautiful Bill.
The one big beautiful bill.
One big beautiful bill.
Yeah. What do you think how do you think Trump would have acted throughout this process if he did not want this bill to pass?
The same way he's acting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that he can't be blamed for it if it falls apart. And if the Congress gives him all of this leeway to spend, $3.3 trillion or whatever the budget is supposed to be, and he just crosses off all the stuff that he doesn't want, I mean, it's kind of the best of all worlds.
That's what I said Saturday on our show. Is like I always go back to if I would have said I didn't want a wall, the Democrats would have built it for me.
Right. Yep, exactly.
He does that with everything.
Yeah.
So on the line item veto, this is what the machine says. The U.S. president does not currently have line item veto authority. The Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional in Clinton versus City of New York, 1998. The court held that the line item veto act of 1996 violated the presentment clause of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, which outlines the process for how a bill becomes a law. The court said that the president must approve or reject a bill in its entirety.
Read that one more time.
The U.S. president does not currently have line item. Do you want me to present it?
Yes.
So you can read it. Hold for processing. The U.S. president does not currently have line item veto authority. The Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional in Clinton versus New York City, 1998. The court held that line item veto act of 1996 violated the presentment clause of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, which outlines the process for how a bill becomes a law. The court said the president must approve or reject a bill in its entirety.
But what about reconciliation? Because that's a different process and not an actual full bill. It's probably the same, but
yeah. I can ask it.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same. So how does that change your opinion, Chris, on what you said earlier?
What do you mean?
About the line item vetoing? Or basically he's just going to cross out all the stuff that he doesn't want and say, this is how I want it, or I'm going to veto it.
Yeah. Yeah, he could do that. Yeah. I also think that this Supreme Court decision is ripe for being overturned. And, they had Scalia and Thomas on the court at that point, but otherwise they had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, and John Paul Stevens, who we just mentioned there, who were all just straight up liberal. David Souter, who's a liberal, Anthony Kennedy and Sandra Day O'Connor, who are like centrist conservatives, and then William Rehnquist. So, that's not exactly a strong constitutionalist court. So you would think that at this point, even with the court as we understand it right now, could probably make quick work of that opinion.
Well, Supreme Court is out of session here.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah, bring them back.
Soon.
They have one job.
So does Congress, but they're like they work like half the year or less, even though they work year round. Somehow it's so stupid. The whole thing's so stupid. The July 4th deadline, so stupid. They're never going to get it passed in time.
Trump's got a rally Thursday night, and so you'd think that he would want to be celebrating something potentially, or using that position to slam them or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, he's kicking off the year of celebrations.
Yes.
July 3rd in Idaho, I think, or Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah. 5-year anniversary from when he did the Mount Rushmore speech the night before the 4th back in 2020. Right. I was recalling today how they were concerned about whether or not the people would be wearing masks, even though they were outdoors in a state with only like 4 people in it.
I think they have more people than North Dakota, to be fair.
Okay.
But yeah, I do recall that. He needs to come back to, was it 2020 when he did the Mount Rushmore? That was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he needs to come back up there.
That was great.
That was pretty badass with the flyovers and whatnot, and then the fireworks show, the orchestra.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we're entering our 250th year as America on Friday.
Yeah.
It's the start of our 250th year.
We got to go to the 250th on July 4th of 2026? We got to do like a Badlands meetup up there.
Yeah.
Up at Mount Rushmore?
Wherever Trump is holding his party.
Oh, gotcha.
Which I'm assuming is going to be in DC.
Yeah, he should let us know so we can plan.
Well, I think there's like a RSVP thing on there already, isn't there?
On where?
On some website. Let me find it.
Isn't that just for his rally this weekend, though?
No.
Thursday, I mean.
Hold on. I'm pretty
Our
sure.
250 will be amazing.
Yeah, it's America.
We have to do that. We all have to be together at that point.
I agree. America250.org. Oh, so this is the RSVP
it's
for
in
the
Iowa?
Well, no, this is the one for this Friday. The 1 year countdown, but I'm pretty sure.
I feel like we can do better than Iowa for next year. No offense, Iowa. You guys are great. Shipwrecks from Iowa. She's awesome.
I wonder if she's gone. I could have swore when I first came to this site, there was an RSVP for like the actual thing. Maybe not.
Rugged. Now you can just go to the store.
Where's the store? Oh, there.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a great store. That's a little gay. That little one.
Wow, did it come up on your end? It hasn't on here. Oh, it must have gone into a new. Yeah.
There you go. Like this one's a little weird.
Zoom in.
I don't love them. I like this one.
It's early. It's just the start of the 250th year on Friday. No bad ideas. Keep them coming.
There are such thing as bad ideas, Ash.
Yeah, I know. It's trying to be inclusive and tolerant.
There's no such thing as a bad joke, though.
It doesn't suit me.
Did you guys pay much attention to Alligator Alcatraz today?
I watched some of that. I think it's funny because he's talking about also doing the same thing with real Alcatraz, but with sharks. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah. And on the same day, too. He mentioned it like 6 weeks ago, and now it's back.
Yeah. Whose idea was it for Alligator Alcatraz? Was that Trump's too? Or was that DeSantis grifting?
Either way, Trump now gets full credit for it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, have you looked at the pictures of that thing?
I've seen pictures. I don't know if they're AI though.
With the moat of alligators, is that what you're talking about?
Well, yes, it has that, but look at this article from the AP. It says this picture was taken like 5 days ago. So here is the facility. I'm sorry, but that was not stood up in 8 days. That's a runway.
This is well, yeah, they built it right? They built it on like an abandoned airport or something. So the runway was already there.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so they built that detention center next to this thing that can ship these people out of the country, or can ship them into the detention center from all around our country. I don't know.
Nailed it.
It would be nice to put the swamp in the swamp.
Yeah. I've heard they've all been at Gitmo already, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe they need to be moved out of Gitmo.
Can you send me that article, by the way?
Cuba is freed or something.
So my biggest question from watching that tour of Alligator Alcatraz, I didn't notice, it didn't look like there were bathrooms inside the cages, which seems like a logistical nightmare of people having to go to the bathroom once that place is full up.
Well, if they're not citizens of America, do we allow them the right to go to the bathroom in a separate location than their prison cell? Is that a right they are entitled to?
You mean you're hurting yourself if you don't make an accommodation for that, because then you're dealing with a bunch of people covered in shit.
But they probably have a hose.
Do they? I didn't see hoses in the
down.
Cages. Did you see hoses in the cages?
I don't know. I haven't seen the article or picture yet.
You didn't see the video of the cages?
I think they placed hose in different area codes.
Maybe kids in cages.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
That was good. Okay, let me find the Alligator Alcatraz.
By the way, I made up a new word on Badlands Story Hour.
Oh no.
I was thinking about the kingdom, the crumbling kingdom of neocons, and came to neocondom.
The neocon.
I think that one's been used.
Really?
No.
I've never heard it.
No,
you should put that on a t-shirt and come up with a slogan.
It was a used neo condom.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
That was a good one too.
Like, you're killing me. I thought I came up with something.
You guys are on fire.
No, you definitely did. I've never heard that before.
Okay, so we're looking for bathrooms here, right?
Yeah, I don't see them.
Who took this video? Everybody knows you're supposed to do it horizontal. But yeah, I don't see.
Right. So is there like a bathroom pass? Like you've got all of those cages filled up.
I wonder if they got the pillows and blankets from
bathroom breaks. It just feels like a logistical nightmare.
Do you think these are my pillows and blankets, Gaza sheets?
Those don't look like toppers. I will say that.
Yeah, the bathroom thing is interesting though. I don't see it.
Yeah.
But you'd have to think they got buckets in there somewhere at the backside.
Gail says, yes, there are facilities. I'm not doubting that there are toilets somewhere on the property. My point is, when you have that place full of criminal invading rapist migrants, they're going to have to go to the bathroom, and you've got them all locked into these cages. How many staff and security people are we going to hire to manage bathroom breaks?
Look on the backside there.
Bucket in there, like John said.
It's hard to tell, but it kind of looks like a little doorway to an open bathroom or something. See that back there? That thing?
Is that inside of that cage?
I can't tell. Even though, I mean, I know the quality of this video is super good. But yeah, see, look on the backside of this side too. It looks like there's like some structure back there. That's got to be the bathrooms.
And a honey bucket in each cage. Well, that would alleviate my concern if that was true.
Your one concern about Alligator Alcatraz is where they will be taking
the only concern that I have is how much money we're going to be we're going to be spending on resources to deal with process inefficiency. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's a better video.
If you're going to do a thing, do it right.
Yeah, those are bathrooms on the backside there. It's got to be. Oh. Almost had him. What kind of flooring is that?
I don't know. Some tile.
Looks like alligator skin. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Huh. Well, whatever. I don't really care that much about their bathroom situation.
There was a clip or something of Kristi Noem in their little press conference today when they were sitting around the table giving after the tour of Alligator Alcatraz. And she was talking about some illegal alien who was being transported there, and he's a cannibal, and he was eating himself, apparently.
What? There you go, Ash.
Whoa.
Look at those toilets.
Oh, okay. So those are inside. Okay. All right. Cool. I have no
look,
concerns then.
those look like luxury toilets too.
Yeah.
What's that little like circle thing in the back?
I don't know.
They have nicer toilets than the rest of us. Although their sink is on the top of the toilet, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I was joking about my assessment of those.
Economical.
That looks terrible.
Well, there you go. Figured it out. Oh.
But if you don't want to go there, then you just self-deport.
Right. That is the way.
Yeah, this is just an optics event. Trump going down there. I mean, what a strange thing.
How long till we get a story about an illegal alien being eaten by an alligator at this facility? How long do you think it's going to take?
I don't know. That would be a good one, though. It's gotta be coming. I think that's like the Chekhov's gun of deportations. Chekhov's gun is like if a gun is presented in the first act, it's got to be fired later on.
Yeah. Interesting. It's not a MacGuffin. That's what you're saying.
Not a MacGuffin, no.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to try to spin it as like he wasn't an illegal alien. He worked here for 30 years and he has family and he's a math teacher and all these nice, pleasant things about him.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming. But yeah.
Did he work at the Alligator Alcatraz as a math teacher? Was he teaching them math before they're being deported, or
maybe we'll have to wait and see. We should precede that story and just like come up with our own AI written story of a hardworking illegal immigrant math teacher in this country who got eaten by an alligator trying to get back to teach math to his low income students somewhere. I think we could do it.
Sounds like something that already happened.
It did, because I just said it did. It's totally real. We gotta get a quick word from our sponsors, guys. So speaking of MyPillow, who, if they didn't buy those pillows and bed sheets from MyPillow, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. But you guys have that opportunity right now. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank listeners for all the continued support. Mike has a passion to help everyone get their best sleep of their life, including illegal immigrants at Alligator Alcatraz. He didn't stop by creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. Mike is offering the best deal on his Percale bed sheets. You can now get a set for as low as $24.98. The MyPillow Percale sheets are breathable and have a cool, crisp feel. They have deep pockets to fit over any mattress. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial with my busy schedule. Also, for limited time, when your order is over $100, you'll receive $100 in free digital gifts. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code BADLANDS to receive the MyPillow Percale sheets for as low as $24.98. That's mypillow.com, promo code BADLANDS. There we go. And I'm also going to
get the topper. It'll transform your sleep.
I have the topper as well. I have an entirely MyPillow bedroom.
I do too. I even have the duvet cover. Do you have the duvet cover?
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a duvet.
I'm more MyPillow than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you did go to his trial, so it's expected.
I was also an employee, so I had the employee discount. So I literally have like everything MyPillow. Yeah.
I did find my slippers the other day. I was really excited about that. They were missing since I moved into this house.
Although the summertime is not really slipper time, except in North Dakota, I guess.
You know what? There's no time that isn't slipper time. When you want that traction, you need traction. You got to wear slippers.
Yeah.
I sent over the clip of Kristi Noem. I found that while you were doing that ad.
Okay. How about I do our guard promo, and then we'll do that.
Yeah.
Coming August 14th to 17th, Badlands Media returns to Deadwood, South Dakota for the 9th stop of the Great American Restoration Tour. Come for family, friends, fun, and a f***ing good time. Hear truth bombs that hit harder than B2s on an Iran nuke site from Burning Bright, Chris Paul, CanCon, Red Pill 78, Brad Nabby, Ash, Ghost, Jordan Sather, John Harold, whoever that is, and more. Plus, Alpha might make you a sandwich. Deadwood is a gorgeous town in the middle of the Black Hills of South Dakota. If you've never been, you need to see it. Plus, you might be lucky lucky enough to witness some terrible karaoke from your favorite Badlanders. Go to badlandsmedia.tv/events for weekend or one-day tickets. And if you can't make it in person, virtual tickets are available too. Watch from the comfort of your couch with tons of behind-the-scenes content and get access to an exclusive guard chat. That's badlandsmedia.tv/events. Be there or be there online. It'll be recorded.
It's a great ad from Jordan Say there.
Yeah,
I love it.
All right, here's the clip. What are we looking for in this?
Well, I mean, the title there is really explaining it, but I think that we will be able to understand.
President Trump is upholding freedom by what he is doing. The freedom to live safely in this country and to do things legally and to have justice. And because those liberals, and I'm calling out you, CNN, I'm calling you out because you lie every single day about what these operations are. We are going after murderers and rapists and traffickers and drug dealers and getting them off the streets and getting them out of this country because Joe Biden let the worst of the worst come in here. The other day I was talking to some marshals that have been partnering with ICE. They said that they had detained a cannibal and put him on a plane to take him home. And while they had him in his seat, he started to eat himself. And they had to get him off and get him medical attention. These are the kind of deranged individuals that are on our streets in America that we're trying to target and get out of our country because they are so deranged they don't belong here. And they shouldn't be walking the streets with our children. And they shouldn't be living in the communities with our families who just want to grow up, go to job, raise their children to grow up and get a job and to live the American dream. So thank you to all of our law enforcement officers, those in our military that have been helping, our National Guard. Thank you.
Well, that's a crazy story.
Well, yeah.
You gotta watch Trump as she's saying this. He like starts nodding and looking around to see how the audience is reacting.
Getting them out of this country because Joe Biden let the worst of the worst come in here.
Before
the other
this,
day I was talking to some marshals that have been partnering
Right
with
here.
ICE.
right?
They said that they had detained a cannibal.
Oh, sorry.
And put him on a plane to take him home. And while they had him in his seat, he started to eat himself. And they had to get him off and get him medical attention. These are the kind of deranged individuals that are on our streets in America that we're trying to target.
Well,
It's like, yes, it's hard to believe, but she just said it.
so it's got to be true. I mean, he was just hungry, guys. I mean, did they not feed him before they got him on the plane? The hell?
I think the most surprising part of that was that the American dream is growing up and getting a job.
Is that what she said?
That is twice. She said it twice. Yeah.
American dream is growing. That has nothing to do with illegal immigrants, though.
Yeah. Well, that she said, they shouldn't be living in our communities with our people that just want to grow up and get a job and raise their families to grow up and get a job.
I feel like I don't think that's the
Pay
American dream.
taxes.
I feel like the American dream is like not having to have the job, right? Like that's why everybody's like, my dream is to retire early, which is not having a job anymore,
I think the American dream is being able to pursue whatever your destiny is without the government putting their boot on your fucking neck.
Yeah, you can't even eat yourself anymore without the government
Without
stopping you.
government intervention.
It's just ridiculous.
Well, there are alligators being employed down there, and if the inmates all eat themselves, then there's going to be nothing for the alligators to do.
Oh, that's a strategy. That's what they're doing. Oh, that's too funny. I wonder how much the alligators are getting paid.
It's kind of self-sufficient if you're a cannibal.
Quota
who eats
migrants.
himself.
Do you think alligators get Medicaid? Or was that in the Big Beautiful Bill?
Could be.
I mean, you want to keep the alligators healthy so that they can take care of the runaway migrant problem.
But here's the thing: if
So free healthcare just makes sense.
if none
Good
of
herd
the
management.
if none of the immigrants run away, the alligators are not going to get any food,
That's
and
right.
they're all going to leave to go find food, and then there's not going to be any alligators at Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
So if it's effective enough,
It would be bad.
there won't actually be any alligators there.
I want to know more details about this moat. Like, how deep is it? Because if you end up in the water, which is something that could happen, or why bother having a moat with alligators in it? You got to expect some escapee is going to end up in that water at some point. I mean, is it shallow? How many alligators are in there? Like, what is the alligator sleep schedule? There's a lot of things to know about whether or not the alligator moat is as good as it's billed as being.
There's another layer to this, though. Do you know what a group of alligators is called?
No.
A congregation. I think there's a spiritual element to this as well.
Interesting. Have we actually gotten any like good pictures of this place? Because I don't see the moat anywhere in this picture.
I saw something the other day. Let me see if I can find it. No, the moat's
Yeah, this looks like a different property than the picture that's going around with the moat.
That is exactly what I thought, Ash, and I wish that I had a better answer.
Well, if you're talking about this picture right here, this is AI.
Here is
Makes
Nick
me sad.
Sorter. Oh yeah, that's the one that was going around. That's AI.
That's AI.
That makes sense.
So there is no moat.
So check out Nick
like this.
Sorter's post I just sent through. This has some video from overhead back on June 23rd. DHS has just approved a plan by Florida to build a detention center for illegals surrounded by an alligator moat. I mean, all this shit sounds like a storyline that would have been written to play out during this period with someone other than Trump as the MAGA replacement candidate operating from that role.
Yeah, where the hell is
nowhere to go.
Oops. I don't see a moat here anywhere. Are they?
Well, it's the Everglades. It's all very wet and full of reptiles. The whole thing is a moat.
The whole thing's a marketing ploy.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna make of this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Although I was talking about this on my show a little bit today. There are detention centers or facilities to house illegal aliens, not only in this country, but south of the border, all the way down into the Golden Triangle. And these things have been funded by the United States, partly the United States government, corporations, whatever. And the suspicion was always that these were kind of waypoints on the way in. But all of this can just be set up to have happened in the opposite direction. I mean, we've talked about the immigration for a couple of years now. You and I have, John, on DPH. And, you know, I don't doubt that there was a major immigration problem. I don't doubt that we have 50 to 100 million illegal aliens in this country. But in terms of how long the problem of illegals coming in went on, and then how quickly it was stopped out of nowhere, I think that that's one of those things that was probably curtailed in the first Trump administration. And then we saw stories about it through the Biden years. And, you know, when both sides of the Uniparty got together trying to create the compromise on immigration, and I think that was like 2023, or maybe it was early 2024, they finally recognized, oh, immigration is a real issue, and we need to talk about this the way Donald Trump talks about it. And their solution was just additional technology for border security.
Yeah.
None of that would have worked. None of that really made sense. I have to wonder, man, if a lot of these people have been pushed out over the years, going from these centers down through other places and then resettled in other countries. So I guess we'll just see, but I can't imagine this is going to be the recipe on how we're going to get 10 million illegals out of the country.
It's an interesting thought, especially when you consider last month we're told there were 0 border crossings.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem possible.
The wall's not finished, right?
The wall's not finished. And I have to imagine there's a couple people that got in that they didn't account for, didn't count. So how can you claim 0? But the fact they're saying that and like nobody's questioning it, and maybe it was, I have no fucking idea, but that's nuts. That's a very, very, very low number. That's, I believe, the lowest number you can get in terms of people coming across the border.
Yeah.
And so in comparison to previous years, it seems weird. It's a very quick turnaround.
If you wanted to convince the American public that everybody was being deported when there's, I think, what is it, like 1,000 a day or something, which would mean it would take 3 years to get through 1 million, which is only not even quite 10% of the issue, even as we're told it, that pace doesn't seem like it would work. But if you wanted to convince people that everybody was being taken out, you would show them Alligator Alcatraz, and you would show them the videos of the detainees being taken off the plane in El Salvador into CCOT. You would make a big deal out of all those stories because it gives us the impression that something severe is going on with the immigration issue in this country. And I'm not entirely certain that's true.
What happened to Trump's gold card? I know they started it, but I haven't heard a single thing since.
I think he started it on the same day that we got the announcement of Israel going after Iran, that Friday, the 13th.
That's right.
And Trump posted Trump card with a bunch of exclamation points. And, you know, Lutnick then followed up like the gold cards out there. That play is brilliant. I mean, I just think that's a drainage device. You look at all these corporations who've shipped in thousands or millions of illegal aliens. If this was how they were going to be punished in each and every one of those instances, $5 million a piece, that would seem like a totally legitimate fine for what they have done. And we're talking about multi-billion-dollar industries that have exploited slave labor and probably deserve that level of punishment.
This is
You should
the
fill it out,
.gov.
Josh.
No, I already have citizenship.
You should fill
I'm
it out
not
for somebody
committing
else.
fraud for.
You should fill it
good
out for
content.
Putin. Fill it out for Putin.
No,
Like it's not like legally binding if you fill out a
could be. It's a
CAPTCHA on.
.gov website.
Okay, but
Oh, we should see if there's a is there a don't commit fraud kind of
there's no
footnote?
disclaimers.
Disclaimer.
I don't see a single
I'll
disclaimer.
fill it
on
out
there.
for John Harold. How about
We
that?
can commit as much fraud as we want on that website.
It doesn't tell us not to commit fraud.
What are they going to do? Be like, here, Putin, you owe $5 million because somebody filled out this thing on our website, but you're now a citizen. They ain't going to do that.
I feel like it's good to assume anything you enter into a .gov website is potentially legally binding. That seems like good digital hygiene.
I don't think that's accurate.
Maybe not.
The stuff
I'm not
they
going to be the
enter
one
in
to
is
test
fake
it,
and
though.
gay. Okay. I feel like I have to do it.
Yeah.
I need to just get a VPN. If I get a VPN, oh, I guess I'm doing it live on air. They're totally going to know it's me anyway. So, well, I need to think this through a little more.
Yeah, I don't think the payoff is really worth it.
On the point you were making about immigration policy, remember when $5 billion, $6 billion was too much for the border wall? As if that was a large amount of money to our government, who then proceeded to just make it rain for every other nation of the world. To like there's language you use, Chris. It was like then they decided to get serious and realize that there was a border problem in 2024. These people love the forever problem, and they've existed on this forever problem. Now the people are the people, not the policy making criminals that sit in the seats of power. The people are like, wait a second, what? And I think it's important to keep pointing people back to in Trump's first term, he tried to solve this problem. And he was met with, we can't possibly spend $5 billion on border security. That I think they should have their noses rubbed in that all the time. $5 billion is nothing to them. They proved that certainly over the past 4 years.
They proved it with the big beautiful bill because there's like $43 billion for border wall security in that thing.
Yeah.
But also the illegal immigration stuff for the Democrats, it only became a problem for them when they realized it was going to be an issue in the election in 2024. But they didn't care. That they wanted the census redistricted, which, by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she proposed a bill to like do a new census now and then redistrict before the next election, and get rid of all the illegal aliens where illegal aliens don't count towards it, which I think it's a good one, but it's not going to pass. That's never going to get past the Senate. But that is an issue that we got to tackle at some point. But I don't know.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Did you see in the last few days, there was news of a database that's being compiled with all of the American citizens so that states and secretaries of states offices can check their voter registries against the list of citizens and, presumably then eliminate all the people who are not citizens. And we will see if that happens. I'm sure it's going to be contested hotly.
I think I got that story right here.
It's pretty crazy that a database of citizens doesn't exist.
Right?
I thought Palantir had that.
Well, man, that's another piece of the whole thing. And I guess there's a new Palantir project with Accenture, which is like a business solutions company. And they're just trying to streamline all of these government databases. But you can think that there would be reasons why they would want to keep databases from different agencies separate, especially if they're all involved in some sort of election malfeasance, which they probably are.
Certainly.
Yep. This is totally the Palantir thing. The centralized repository is searchable and can be accessed by state and local election officials to look up the names of anyone trying to vote to determine if they are citizens, according to NPR, which I thought NPR was defunded.
No, actually, one of those cases that was decided on Friday was the FCC case about delegation. Can the FCC delegate the authority to allocate the funding appropriated by Congress to a private nonprofit, that being the Corporation for Public Broadcasting?
Mm-hmm.
And that whole grift is crazy, man. They give money to Corporation for Public Broadcasting. They get the Corporation for Public Broadcasting gives it to all of the local affiliate stations, who then come back through and buy programming from NPR. So it's all, the whole ecosystem is taxpayer funded, but it's, this kind of circular, and Supreme Court decided that that was entirely lawful and didn't violate the non-delegation, which is unfortunate.
Well, did you guys know that voter fraud is rare in the U.S. anyway? So this whole thing
that's a lie.
Just moot.
Provably false assertion.
Don't get a suit, Ash. Careful.
Yeah.
I wonder if this says anything about Palantir.
Did you see, Ash, the Gavin Newsom suit last week where he is suing Fox News for the same $787 million that Dominion sued for?
Yeah, my immediate response, which I think still holds up and is still my response, is that Gavin Newsom is desperate for attention.
Well, our boy New is just executing. Public narrative, just spectacular. He's such a big help to Donald Trump. It's wonderful. Remember when he debated Ron DeSantis and Ron took out
I want them to do that again.
They
They talking about doing it again? There's been rumblings of that, right?
They were talking about JD Vance debating Gavin Newsom.
Oh, I'd watch that too.
Gavin Newsom's just going to destroy all the up and comers for the Republican establishment. That would be so funny.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom is plastic though. He's super inauthentic, and
and still beats those guys.
So certainly DeSantis is notoriously terrible at debate and governing.
Terrible at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except boots. He's good at boots.
He's got great boot
Got
fashion.
a few different pairs.
Yeah.
Trump today did say how much he's like him and DeSantis are good friends.
Yeah.
Always been good friend of mine.
And then he said that they skirmish from time to time, but probably their days of skirmishing are behind them, though you never know.
Didn't Trump also say that all the NATO leaders were good leaders?
That's true. Yes.
He also endorsed Lindsey Graham again.
He is very nice to whoever needs his niceness at any moment.
Whoever he's taking the spotlight from, he's very nice to them in that moment.
Yeah.
But here's the clip from earlier.
Well, with the federal government, it's been just a beautiful, beautiful partnership. So, Ron, I'd like to thank you personally. You are my friend, and you'll always be my friend. And we may have some skirmishes even in the future. I doubt it, but we'll always come back because we just we have blood that seems to match pretty well. We have a relationship that's been a very strong one for a long period of time, and I appreciate it. Very much appreciate it.
It's good to know they have the same blood type in case one of them ever needs a donor.
Yeah.
Or was he talking about bloodlines, John?
Ooh. I don't know if we should get into that.
Or was he asking Ron DeSantis to be his blood boy?
Did they do a blood handshake afterwards?
Do a
blood handshake, the mafia thing.
Blood brothers.
Blood oath, yeah.
Yeah.
Spit. You cut your hand and you spit on it, and then you shake with the other guy who does the same thing.
The skirmishes are good, by the way. It's supposed to work that way. You're supposed to have tension between the federal and state powers in that way. That's a good dynamic.
Oh, is that a picture of Alligator Alcatraz in the background there? Because there's not a single moat.
I don't see a moat either.
But here's a good clip. This is funny what Trump says here.
How's it going?
You can delegate that to us because we move faster than the Army Corps.
Good.
So we will finish that reservoir.
shots fired.
If you delegate it to us, I'll get it done and much quicker.
Oh, I would do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, let me ask myself permission. Permission granted. Go ahead, get the thing, get it complete. You want to do
All right,
that?
we're gonna go talk
Go
to
ahead,
the Army
do it.
Corps then after this.
Good. You can move faster, actually.
What does he do here? Watch DeSantis. I don't know if he flexes his pecs here or something. This is a weird movement.
Faster, actually.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe it's just glitchy.
You can move faster, actually. Please.
See that twitch?
No.
It was.
see
I
it,
saw it. I saw it.
It's his
Subtle.
the shoulder with the pin on it does this weird twitch.
Actually. Please.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
weird that you picked up on that.
I still didn't see it.
It's my tism. I got the Hep B vaccine, apparently.
So am I to understand that the people on Twitter are wrong about the moat?
Yeah.
Where
don't
is
see
the
a
moat?
moat. Bro, are you suggesting that people on Twitter are right about anything?
The worst thing about this is it makes Brian right.
What did
Brian
Brian
shattered our dreams about Alligator Alcatraz on Friday, and we all called him a doomer, and now he's right, and that sucks.
Well,
What
he's a
did he
doomer
say?
still.
Oh, it's all AI, and there's no alligators don't move that fast, and there's not a moat, and there's not this. It's just,
So it's
tell the
really just
stupid truth.
a detention facility and a runway that have been there for a long time, and maybe they built this new area.
The bunk beds look new.
Yeah, that did look
They
new.
look pretty shiny.
Yeah.
It's just a marketing ploy. That's all it
is.
is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's probably to draw in new lawsuits too. I'm sure they want more challenges from the Democrats. And so there's going to be some 501c3 group out there backed by Norm Eisen and Mark Elias that are going to sue for people getting shipped there.
It's wild how they can just make people talk about whatever they want at any time.
Right.
I'm going to make these people talk about alligators. And now everyone's talking about alligators.
It is also interesting how quickly they built this prison. If that's how quickly they built it, 8 days.
Mhm.
They can put these things up wherever they want, whenever they want. Remember the FEMA camp stories that were running back in COVID, or around the COVID time? But I never saw any of those completed. Ash, you want to put your screen up?
So I guess you guys are telling me that this isn't real either.
That one might be real.
We're doing Tiger Alcatraz.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, there's no way they let that guy own any more tigers, especially that many of them.
Under the hang on a second. Under the authority of Homeland Security, look at who they let handle children. I'm not sure it's totally ruled out at this
That's
point.
true. Isn't that guy still in prison?
I don't know. I never watched any of that.
Me neither.
I never saw any of that.
I watched.
Season.
How many seasons are there? I watched one season.
Like the season of our simulation where that was a thing. I never watched that season.
That was a while ago. That was before I woke up. I would never watch that now, but I did watch it.
Wasn't it during the pandemic that people were obsessed with Tiger King? That feels right, timing wise.
Might have been
2019, 2020. Yeah.
It was super stupid,
Yeah.
super gay, and I'm pretty. Yeah, I don't know.
Spetzel in the chat says the environmentalists shut down the airport. DeSantis used emergency powers to override the regulations. So I wonder if there is something in particular about that airport that would have been important in some other sense. That seems like maybe a worthwhile place to dig.
Let's look at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. Which Let's see. Formerly the Everglades Jetport. It's a public airport in the Florida Everglades.
So it was used publicly?
That's what they're saying.
What's that?
Have you guys been to the Everglades?
No.
I was just in the Keys. Is that by the Everglades?
No. So it's the southern middle part of the state of Florida, and there's a road that runs across it called Alligator Alley. And it is swamp, uninhabitable, horrible swampland. I mean, also beautiful and delightful, except there's a lot of people that get exotic snakes and pets and things and then can't handle them anymore. So they just dump them in the Everglades. So you never really know what you're going to find out there. It's kind of a horrifying environment to try and escape prison. Make a good movie, though. I bet we'll get a couple of those.
Well, yeah, they could be producing that. You know what I want to know? What happened to the narrative we were going to get about those escaped monkeys with viruses a few years ago? Remember that? All the monkeys fell out of a truck and some of them escaped and they were going to go around biting people. Never happened.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's like murder hornets. It's like this plot line that just they never finished it.
Isn't that like a movie?
Hanging.
Isn't that Planet of the Apes movie? Are they just like stealing news plot lines from?
Yes, it was, but
movies?
also it happened. It was around the time, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but like around the time of the East Palestine Railroad thing.
I feel like that could be
give or take a couple of months. It was around that. Sky Circle was in there.
Oh wow!
Like relatively close. It was that when a whole bunch of weird things were happening, and they had that truck that turned over or whatever, and monkeys got out. They never caught all of them, and we're all gonna die. It's gonna be Outbreak again, the OG Contagion movie. But then they didn't finish it off, just like Murder Hornets. I'm still bitter about that one.
Yeah. They introduced some enjoyable storylines. Like I would watch that season and then they just never follow through. It's like when they buy a pilot, but they don't take it to series.
Why do they do that?
Why do they do it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could talk about that, but
but you don't want to, clearly.
Well, no. I mean, we could, it's a matter of how deep you want to go into it. But what they'll do is they will hire an entire cast to film a pilot episode of a TV show. And then after the pilot is filmed, it'll be reviewed. The network and the producers will kind of weigh in on it. And some of them will be picked up and turned into series. And so then the actors will get hired as cast members for the first season. And who knows how long, maybe they'll be on the show for 7 years or something. But not every show that has a pilot shot will end up being turned into a series. And so there are just a range of actors in Hollywood who are able to book a pilot every year during pilot season, which is kind of not what it used to be because of the streaming schedule. We're not on a network television schedule anymore. But there would be people that would book pilots every year and their pilots would never get picked up into full series shows. So they would never actually have a career as a television actor, even though they were able to consistently earn a living every year just by booking that one pilot.
Like how much would they get paid for one pilot?
It depends. I mean, it depends on what the budget of the show is, like whether it's network or not. And obviously, you know, what the reputation of the actor is.
What a waste of money though, to like do all that, spend all that money and then not turn it into an actual show.
Well, they want to have all the IP and they want to control all the talent. So,
and think about now, you could shoot the one pilot and with advanced AI models, feed that in, create the character likenesses, you know, create kind of the core components of the show and story. And off of one pilot, you could build a multi-season series.
Yeah,
that's coming.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
probably already out there.
I know people who got paid like 10 grand to give their like full body scan and biometrics and everything to the machine so that they could be placed into different films as like an extra.
Jeez,
It's like Joan is awful. Did you see that one? Joan is awful of
Yes.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Although what you're talking about has consent, and it seems like Joan is awful didn't have consent, but that seems to be the only difference.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's still so degrading. It's also actors shooting themselves in the foot. They want the money so that they can keep living and have nice things. And they are like involved in the process that is going to make their jobs obsolete.
Yeah, but don't you also think that like authentically human created, human centric content will distinguish itself once this, you know, this takes off and does its thing and transforms the industry? The real art will emerge, I think.
That'll be Broadway.
Let's go.
I think you're right about that, but there's also an entire segment of the population that does not care. Like they're not watching carefully enough to notice any of that stuff. And, you know, we're talking about a lot of people who play video games and watch cartoons already. So what does it matter if the people are kind of just uncannily not quite human?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm more worried. Did you see the robotic sports ball they were playing in China?
No.
You guys didn't see that? Oh, hold for processing. It's terrible. It's about like as bad as watching real soccer. But the future
almost as bad as real soccer.
Almost. This is a little more entertaining, I think.
Definitely an Asian country.
This is ridiculous. Hey, have you guys ever seen the Japanese television show Human Tetris?
I don't think so.
You want to see
Sounds
one
a
of the
little like it sounds kind of similar to a Human Centipede. I'm not sure if I want to watch.
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
I hope this
I feel like this is such bread and circuses because they have way better robot technology than this.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're like, they just want to do this to show people it can be done. And then like they're just going to keep advancing it. And then eventually they're going to have, they claim, the creator of this league or whatever, they claim they're going to have a team of robots that will be better than human soccer players.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the future. We're going to have a robot league of sports and human league of sports. And then at the end, the champions of each league will play each other. It's ridiculous.
Sprinting towards Westworld.
Yeah.
John, this is going to be loud and very Japanese, but this is hilarious. I mean,
I really think
a hibachi restaurant or something.
No, you will understand exactly what it is soon, and it is amazing. I used to watch the hell out of this. I think it's so funny. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be. I turned the clip on and it started playing, and I was like, "Wow, that's loud."
Okay. Disclaimer for those in the chat: I cannot control the volume on your devices, so if this is too loud, you can turn it down a little bit.
But you could turn it down on YouTube, probably.
I could, but do I want to do that? Because then
you're going to have to judge for yourself. Yeah.
Okay, I'm probably just going to leave it, but we'll see how bad it is.
All right.
You're not showing it if you're meaning to.
Yeah, what's going on there, John?
Oh, wait, what? Oh, I'm not even playing it. Whoops.
You were totally into it already on the...
I was like, this isn't that loud.
Okay. All right, so now you get an idea of what the game's all about.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't want to get hit by the wall. You want to get your body through the wall.
Let's jump through the hole, bro. Oh. That's so funny.
There's no way you can fit through there. We need to do this at Gart.
Yeah.
Where's real Mrs. Bright? Make this happen.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
The funny thing is you could just sit in one direction without doing the split.
Yeah. Do you have to do the... Oh my gosh.
I had hopes for that guy.
Yeah, he should have just sat with both his
He
legs.
had just like shrugged
sideways.
his shoulders down a little bit. I think
That's a
we had done.
butthole. You have to dive through it. This is what the first guy should have done.
Mhm.
He definitely had the easiest one.
Yeah.
How old is this, by the way? Because the graphics are terrible. Does
I don't
Japan
know.
not? Japan makes all the chips and they can't get a high def camera.
I don't know. I mean, this video's been there for 10 years, and I think it's older than that.
That's fair.
Oh, it's a tough one.
That guy looks maybe too big for that.
It's a very large Asian.
His feet are in the first.
Oh.
All right. Well, you know.
Was there a point you had by
It's awesome, I think was the point.
Just how great it is.
Were you talking about Asian sports?
Is that? Oh yeah, the
someone soccer.
The robot soccer made me think of it.
Yeah.
This would probably
Oh,
be
it's a good one.
He could also just again stand straight sideways and go right through it.
They clearly don't want people to actually problem solve, Chris.
Look at this.
What is with the extra hole there?
It's like
That's what she said.
Gosh, inappropriate. You're gonna get an angry letter in the mail for saying that. Somebody telling you.
Get in line.
This is great, actually. Though we should do this at Guard.
We should do this at Guard.
How big is 218 centimeters?
Very large, apparently.
Sorry,
I would say it's around 8 feet.
This is 7 feet 1 inches. 7.15 feet. That guy's over 7 feet tall.
I mean, he looks like he could eat the two people next to him.
Lindy says, I just don't get it, and I'm Asian.
Lindy's Asian?
Apparently.
Well, it's not really much to get. It's just hilarious watching the wall coming at them, their sad attempts to get through it, and their ultimate failures.
Is it the Asian version of like American Gladiators? Like their challenges are math, it's spatial relations, right? That's math related that they're doing. That's their Asian Gladiators game.
That is racist. I want to watch a better camera angle of the soccer game. We'll do it in fast speed.
It's still pretty slow.
I wonder if any of them have ever scored.
See, there's still human
They have.
jobs.
That's true. Need a coach.
Why aren't they able to strategize how to make this work the best? Or maybe they are.
You know what's funny is this reminds me of my daughter's soccer games. They all just like huddle around the ball and the ball like goes nowhere. What is this guy doing?
I don't know. Wow.
We're gonna have a World Cup of robot soccer, and it's gonna be like the Tesla bots versus whatever these things are.
See, I think they already have like Westworld robots.
See if we can get a goal.
Humanoid robots that are indistinguishable unless you crack their heads open. And that's frowned upon.
Or unless you see like a picture of all 7 Fettermen at once.
Did you see the new Biden?
No.
Hang on. I have no idea if this is a real image or if it's been doctored. I think it's probably been doctored, but it's pretty awesome.
Hold on, we got to see a goal first.
There you go.
They scored. No way.
Wow. Let's go green team. I was rooting for the purple team, but man, as long as something happened.
Maybe they make a comeback. I don't want to ruin the suspense for anybody, but it does appear in a nail biter.
It's a real barn burner.
Wow. Wait, so Ash, where is your what in the world?
No. That's fake.
It's gone around.
I mean, that's very funny.
Oh, that's George Stephanopoulos?
It's Biden's sit down.
He's sitting down with George Stephanopoulos. Send me the link to this.
That can't be real.
It's.
I mean,
I didn't go look at the video. There's got to be a video of this if it is legit.
that looks
but I
like
didn't
somebody
look
just
for it.
messed with his eyes and
I just thought it
face.
was hilarious. And the tan. The
It's very
tan
funny.
is something notable as well. Let's see if we can find, did he actually sit down with him?
He did in 2024.
Looks like the same background.
Yeah.
It looks like the same Biden too.
Which one?
the last version.
Yeah, the eyes are distinct. I mean, a lot of things, right? They're not on this. I mean, between the Bidens, the legitimate Bidens.
By the way, didn't he get cancer? Like, have we heard any updates on that
Super
story?
aggressive prostate cancer, right? That
Yeah.
Scott Adams also has.
He was going to be dead any minute. I didn't think that we would even have a Biden.
Yeah.
Even this far.
Sorry for laughing. It's very
He's
serious.
still going. Yeah.
How dare you laugh?
Mm.
Somebody on Twitter, Angie K says, "Want to freak out? Watch this. They are all controlled. You have to pay attention." Do we want to watch this?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a decent.
So that
X-Files.
we have to, they said.
Okay. Maybe after this we can get to the rants and get you guys out of here. Chris, I know you've been streaming for like going on 15 hours today.
Yeah, and I'm doing daily tomorrow morning, so I'm just hitting every single show.
Might as well just not sleep tonight. Yeah. And plus tomorrow Wednesday? Yeah, I guess you're not on tomorrow's Power Hour. Never mind.
Tad O'Malley has been making claims.
Claims about what?
You and everyone you know has a piece of DNA in your genome, put there without your knowing it.
Put there by whom?
Well, that's the question of the day.
This is an internet lunatic. You're not saying you believe him.
Hold on, Agent Hines.
Well, maybe we should save this for our outro.
This is a good clip. I've seen this before. Now play it so we can talk about it.
And you're talking to a scientist.
Forgive me, Assistant Director. It may sound insensitive, but the suggestion is pure science fiction.
What I'm saying, Agent Einstein, is that the facts, as I understand them, cannot be discounted out of hand.
No one has the right or the ability to tamper with your DNA.
Unless we gave them that ability.
You say they're tampering with our DNA, that they're able to shut down our immune systems by the addition of something to our DNA.
Yes, but I don't know how exactly.
Or how it's being triggered.
I don't know that either.
Or why it's happening now. What can we possibly do?
We need to act quickly.
You were right about that.
Well, I was wrong about the science. I was wrong about what's causing it. Dead wrong, in fact.
But it's clearly a widespread failure of our immune systems.
Through gene tampering. A virus within a virus that was put there through the smallpox vaccine. It's what these men are calling the Spartan virus.
We have to figure this out. What's wrong with the science?
Okay. The Spartan virus removes the adenosine deaminase gene from your DNA. Removes the ADA gene and your immune system will simply vanish.
Yeah, but I'm not getting sick.
It's only a matter of time.
Okay. So how does it work? How does the virus remove the ADA gene?
A process called
CRISPR-Cas9. RNA and a protein cutting genes at exact locations.
Exactly, but in this instance used as a weapon.
The ultimate weapon. The ability to depopulate the planet. To kill everyone but the chosen.
By tampering with their DNA.
Through gene editing.
Why do such a thing and lie about it? Our own government.
Your own government lies as a matter of course, as a matter of policy. The Tuskegee experiments on black men in the 30s, Henrietta Lacks.
What are they trying to do?
That's the missing piece.
But it's not hard to imagine a government hiding, hoarding technology for 70 years at the expense of human life and the future of the planet. Driven not only by corporate greed, but a darker objective.
The takeover of America.
And then the world itself, by any means necessary, however violent, or cruel, or efficient. By severe drought, brought on by weather wars, conducted secretly using aerial contaminants and high-altitude electromagnetic waves. In a state of perpetual war. To create problem, reaction, solution scenarios to distract, enrage, and enslave American citizens at home. With tools like the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act which abridge the Constitution in the name of national security. The militarization of police forces in cities across the U.S., the building of prison camps by the Federal Emergency Management Agency with no stated purpose, the corporate takeover of food and agriculture, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, even the military in clandestine agendas to fatten, dull, sicken, and control a populace already consumed by consumerism.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
A government that taps your phone, collects your data, and monitors your whereabouts with impunity. A government preparing to use that data against you when it strikes. And the final takeover begins.
The takeover of America.
By a well-oiled and well-armed multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
The other shoe waiting to drop.
It'll probably start on a Friday. The banks will announce a security action necessitating their computers to go offline all weekend.
Digital money will disappear,
They can just steal your money?
followed by the detonation of strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids.
What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists or Russia.
An invasion of the U.S.
The Russians tried it in 47.
You know when this came out, that episode?
2020.
2016.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like we put it in an X-Files episode, so you know it's totally made up and definitely not happening. You know, they nailed it.
Everything, all of it was fake.
All of it's fake.
It's all was fake all along.
Except I'm still waiting on an EMP pulse, burst, pulse,
Yeah.
whatever they call it. I've been warned about those for like years now.
But you don't have to say EMP pulse because that would be redundant because the P stands for pulse.
That's why I said burst and whatever. I bought Faraday bags multiple times now because of those. Just they're sitting next to my radiation pills for the nuclear fallout.
Well, hey man, maybe you'll need them one day.
You think so?
No.
You promise?
Probably. I mean, I can promise because if it actually happens, we will both be vapor, right?
No, my pills will protect me from that.
In your Faraday bags.
That's why I purchased them.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I do have Faraday bags. They were given to me, but I do not have any of those like the nuke protection pills, nuclear dysfunction pills or something.
There should be a company that sells wrappings for your house. That's just a Faraday house.
Faraday
Oh,
siding.
like if you tent for termites and stuff, like you have that giant, but a Faraday one.
That's right. Yeah.
Dude, Faraday siding. We should totally start that company.
Turn your house into a skiff. It's a skiff.
Yeah. Also,
that would sell.
out all the energy interference.
I bet we could sell that.
I mean, I wonder if you could do it.
How
Just
much,
like
how much does this shit cost? Just make it clear and
How much does the Faraday house kit cost?
yeah. Just like no one sheet of Faraday. And just get a sticky side on that Faraday, make it invisible, and you just
buy it like carpet and square
flatten it
feet.
right onto the siding. Yeah.
no, we should buy just because they come in big sizes. You know, the Faraday bags. We buy a bunch of them in bulk. We cut them up, tape them together, and then sell that, but at a cost, obviously, upcharge. I mean, we can probably make a lot of money doing that. But I bet they could put it in like a spray. We could put it in a spray and just like you spray it on the area you want Faradayed.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, we're on to something here. I know it.
I think Chris is onto something with Faraday siding. I think that idea has legs.
But then that's not enough because what about the roof? You need
There's
Faraday
like-
shingles.
It's a roof, but yeah.
Well,
And
as someone in the chat just pointed out, all you need is to color it blue.
Ah, that's true. Well, that only protects from laser beams, not EMP bursts. So
So many precautions we have to
Or 5G towers. Yeah.
yeah, so whatever our
Faraday house can help.
our Faraday siding needs to be blue.
Yeah,
We
two
can
birds.
charge more for that.
All
Yeah,
blue
you can get the Faraday siding that also protects you against the space lasers.
Yeah.
That's the
It's an
premium
upcharge
package.
though. So this is deluxe.
It's premium. What else can we protect against?
Murder hornets. It's a spray.
That's the spray.
Yeah.
Well, we can put that in the adhesive that we use for the siding at an upcharge.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go through the rants because I feel like we're losing it. Valseco OnlyLands started 4 hours ago. No, it was scheduled 4 hours ago. Didn't start till what time did it start? 10:30 Eastern. Then Valseco 16 again says, I just got done with story hour and OnlyLands had been on for 4 hours. What have I missed? I've been here 5 minutes. You didn't miss much. Smoke says, this show is good, but even better when you have more participation from the hosts on Badlands. Great to see Chris come on after a show, which was excellent, by the way, and Baseless was based last night, John. Thank you, Smoke. Although I'm not sold yet about last night's Baseless. And we'll see next week. Like, I don't want to badmouth him. He's a good dude. Nick, no.
Okay.
I'm a guy, I need to see the proof, you know? And I didn't get any of that last night. I don't feel like he told his story, and as much as I would love to just take his word for it, I need to see proof. And next week, I think hopefully we'll get that.
The part I found most interesting is that he claims to have witnessed Hammer and Scorecard in action in 2014.
Well, no. He was told by somebody who witnessed.
He said he watched
it down.
On your show last night, he said he watched it.
I thought he said he saw it in Ukraine.
Yeah, in 2014 in Ukraine.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah. But that's it's the tool. He's another firsthand witness to this tool being used, which that was new information for me. I connected with him. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Chickasaw Girl says, LOL, Ash. I thought the same thing. There are no toilets and sinks, but
There are sinks on the top of the urinal lits.
There are bathroom facilities. We confirmed it. Valseco 16. Badlands start a 24/7 channel like AJ and RAV. Because we definitely want to be like Alex Jones. So hard to catch a show live. At 6:50, I can just throw on RAV and smooth transition to War Room. So hard to turn on Daily Herald and not miss 10 minutes. I mean, I wonder. I can't even imagine the logistics. They have a much higher budget than we do. But would people actually watch 24/7?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, think about like I don't know if you guys do. I have a couple of them, but there's the boomer in your life that has Fox News or OAN on all the time in the house while they're doing whatever, living their life. They just have the news going all the time. Kind of cable news phenomenon. I feel like that's still a thing. And War Room and RAV have met that challenge. They have 24-hour there's always a stream you can plug into for that audience.
I mean, we could do it. I think we have enough people in enough time zones with Brad that we would just need somebody at the computer to switch the screen over to another.
Man, the Truth Social, Truth Plus TV thing, apparently they're going to be broadcasting globally. And it's really funny that Donald Trump calls Truth Social the real voice of America, because Voice of America was the propaganda organization that would broadcast American propaganda to the rest of the world. And so, just saying.
But Real America's Voice is already a thing.
Yes, but that's not the real voice of America.
Isn't
that's like Real America's voice?
Isn't in today's day and age, like everything you do could go globally? Like, what does that mean? Are you saying like on televisions?
I assume, well, yes, that's true, but I think that they're making this particular app available everywhere. And I mean, my idea on the Truth and Rumble thing more broadly is that they're trying to create a parallel structure with some fortification that can't be taken down. And so if that's the case and they're able to broadcast globally at some point, I think that in worst case scenarios, that could be a really cool thing to have.
Speaking of globally, this was in one of our Telegram chats. They're excited to say that they are about to have their very first New Zealand meetup.
Wow.
3 fans Tiny, but we're having a great time chatting. We're global, Chris.
Congratulations.
Heck yeah. And shout out to Nikki,
all
who's
of
in
us.
Australia. I don't know the other two's names, but that's awesome. Love it. There is something there though with the Truth Social and the streaming, because integrating as more and more people are consuming news media and media broadly on their handheld devices as opposed to their TVs, integrating that experience with the social interaction is I don't think that's going away. I think that's going to be, you know, kind of more the way people are engaging in content in the future. And True Social is doing that in a pretty solid way. We'll see how they do with, you know, the chat and integration features when it takes off and we can use it. I think X is a little bit clunky with that, you know, in terms of if you're watching an X live stream, engaging in the chat is not as seamless as if you're watching Rumble and engaging in the chat. It's clunkier. You're not as connected. It's not as much of a integrated experience. So True Social doing it would be cool. And I like the global aspect of it too, because we had that with Parler. Parler felt like a global site. You were interacting with people from other countries. It was the thing that convinced me in 2020 that MAGA was a global movement, was how many people from other countries. And you don't see that as much on the regular ones because they geo box us, you know.
We're gonna keep going with the rants.
Sorry.
Susie Q20, what the fuck is wrong with this channel? Constant pausing or not running at all, constantly refreshing. Grr. I don't know, but thank you for the rant. Rumble has its growing pains. By the way, True Social TV, whatever is great. It would be greater if they would allow anybody to stream to it.
Yeah,
that's pretty lame.
Or at least Badlands.
At least us. Keith O'Higgins says, PETA people for the ethical treatment of animals will be protesting Alligator Alcatraz on behalf of the alligators. Wildlife officials say eating too much Mexican will cause alligator assholes burning.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot. Thank you for that, Keith, and the $1 you sent with it. Keith Higgins, if that male cannibal wanted to identify as a lesbian cannibal, would the Biden administration have paid for the surgery to remove her ribs so she could eat herself? It's quite the conundrum there, Keith. The final demand. In my younger years, I have been in 2 county jails and 2 prisons. The toilets and sinks are like that, but offset, zero privacy. You haven't lived until you've shat in front of 40 people. Sad face. I don't know. I feel like that's not accurate.
Like there is life before that?
I feel like there is life before that, and that is not required.
That you can still have lived if you haven't
Shat in front of 40 people, yes.
Got it.
That's my personal opinion.
But have you
having not done that? Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that final demand. Keith Higgins again. I proposed getting rid of Department of Education and replacing it with the Department of Citizenship. If we still had Department of War, Mark Levin would be its secretary. Love it. Keith Higgins, DeSantis ordered boots on the ground. I wonder if they were elevated boots like he wears. That's a good one. Melindy, for what it's worth, I just discovered this yesterday along the lines of the pilot episode stuff. AI fan fiction is alive and well. 3-minute trailer. This could be our outro.
Nice.
Melindy, put that over here quick. And then we got Daddy Do 17. The soccer player that went down was vaccinated. Love that.
The robot player that got carried away on the stretcher.
Yeah, that's too funny.
Nice.
Poor guy.
JK Nerdy, that was totally Biden beta unit from Last Starfighter. And then Badlander fan, is there really going to be a Liberty Den show on Friday live? It is on the schedule. Yeah, probably. I'll have my kids. I'll be home. But we'll see. We'll let you know probably closer to if there's not.
Because it's 4th of July, yeah.
Yeah, it is 4th of July.
We shall
Why
see.
We Vote is going to be recorded.
How dare you?
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. But with that, that's all we got. So we're going to play this as our outro. This is season 1, trailer 1, John Game of Thrones. I don't know if this is just one person who put this together, if this is actually going to be a thing, but whatever. We'll watch it. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Echo in my ears. King, king beyond the wall. The words echo in my ears, hollow and heavy. A crown of ice and shadows thrust upon a man who never wanted power. They say I saved them, but every victory tastes of ash. I came north to find peace, but the ghosts followed. They whisper in the wind, flicker in the firelight. Her memory, a burning ember in the heart of winter. The fire consumed her, and it was my hand, my choice, that brought the ashes. But was the choice really mine to make? The Red Woman spoke of prophecies, of fate. In me, she saw the prince that was promised, reborn amid salt and smoke. She believed I was Azor Ahai returned, destined to wield Lightbringer against the darkness. Destined. But it was Arya who slew the Night King. Not me. Was I fated to murder Dany? Or was the Red Woman wrong? And all she saw was a reflection, a shadow of the darkness that lives within us all. The wall is weeping. Its ancient ice surrendering to the sun, its magic fading like a forgotten dream. The north remembers spring, but in the depths of my soul, winter lingers, and so do my thoughts. I can feel it burning within me, the song of ice and fire, the blood of the dragon, the blood of the wolf. A king's burden and a bastard's heart. But I'm not a bastard. I never was. Am I even a king? What if all I am is a pawn in a game played by gods and prophets? The Night King is gone. Daenerys is ashes. And the world seems to be moving on. But I'm still here, waiting, searching for a reason, a meaning, a path that will lead me out of this frozen wasteland of doubt. The old legends, Nan's stories, they haunt my dreams. The tales of a great other, a slumbering god of darkness waiting to devour the world. A darkness that Azor Ahai once vanquished with his fiery blade. A darkness that might rise again, demanding a new hero, a new sacrifice. Am I the prince that was promised? Or am I just Jon Snow? A man haunted by the choices he's made, and the choices that were made for him. Beyond the Night King's castle, beyond the reach of memory, there is a place of shadows, a place where the ice never melts, where the sun never shines. I don't know what awaits me in that frozen abyss, but I have to go. I have to face the darkness, to understand my purpose, to find out why the Lord of the Light brought me back, and learn whether my destiny, my true destiny, lies behind me or before me. I owe it to myself, to my people, and most of all, I owe it to her.